So, update on the Reliance. Mine's back on the road. Well, as you'll find out, maybe not, but mine was back on the road. I'd done the head gasket, changed the lock set, everything was back together. So I thought I'll take it out for a test drive. Finished work yesterday. So I'm recording this the day after. Finished work yesterday. Came home, left my living room because I'm still working from home. Got in the car, started it up, ran fine, let it warm up. It was really good. No concerns. Checked everything worked because I haven't actually had a chance to check all the lights and everything. There's a tail light out, but other than that, all the lights seem to be working, which is great. Got 0.4 miles down the road, which is about 600-700 meters, and went over a speed hump, the ones in the middle of the lane rather than the ones that go all the way across, like a traditional speed bump. And when you're in a three-wheeler, you've got no choice. One wheel's going to hit that bump. I chose to take the front suspension over that bump, and the suspension promptly collapsed the second I hit that speed bump. So enjoy the calamity that was my 5 o'clock evening, eventually finishing at 10 p.m. First drive out went quite well. Here we are on the side of the road. You may notice Reliants sit quite low, but they don't sit that low. I have driven over a speed bump, and the shock absorber has proceeded to eject itself through the bottom of the car. So I now have a Reliant handily stuck outside a garage, but not so handily, can't move. So we'll get a bit closer underneath and have a look. Good news is all my lights work, which I didn't know until today. Apologies for all the road noise. But basically, what's happened is, under there... Oh, that's terrible. You can't see a thing. That's the front wheel. That's the bottom of the shock absorber. It should be traditionally attached at both ends. So here's the culprit. I don't know entirely what's happened, but I suspect that's somehow welded to the bottom of the shock absorber and has ejected itself through the bottom of the car. Looking at the inside, that looks like it was a press fit or something. I imagine the shock absorber coil sat on one of these sides. Now no longer attached, so coil has left the building. Not fun. Don't know what we're going to do about this. The guy over there in the garage might be able to give me a hand, but he's busy at the moment doing an MOT. So for now, I'm stuck exactly half a mile from my house with a broken down Reliant, and not really any way to move it. I might be able to get a dolly and push it back home, but that's if the garage is willing to lend me one. I doubt they will, but we'll see. So now we wait. Hopefully at some point RAC will turn up, but in the meantime, a very sad looking Reliant. So my 400 kilo plastic pig is being recovered on a 15.5 ton lorry. Oh, this is 4 hours later, by the way. 4 hours. RAC are great. Love the RAC. So here we are. It's the next day. I've got the Reliant up on jack stands, which, by the way, utter pain in the arse on one of these because there's nowhere to jack it up when you're super low. So it's been a bit of a pain. But I'll show you what actually happened. So, under here, that there in the middle, here is the shock absorber, connected at the top, supposedly connected there. However, as you can quite clearly see, I don't know whether that's unscrewed itself. or what has happened, but quite clearly not attached at both ends. So when I was driving along and hit the speed bump, the shock absorber collapsed, and the wheel, which is connected on this big arm here, this is the steering arm, by the way, basically shot up in there, and you can probably see has been rubbing on the fiberglass. It might take a bit of a hit, but it should come down. Luckily, didn't have to go very far. The wheel seems all right. The brakes still work. This arm is actually, the most surprising thing about this is this arm is actually in really good condition. They usually go like here, but actually I think this one's had some wax oil or something on it, and it's actually in really good condition, but the shock absorber's clearly rusty as. So gonna get a new shock absorber. It's a bolt at the top, and that bolt there, how much do you want to bet they won't come out cleanly? And then hopefully with that done, the arm can be, or the suspension piece can be replaced, and yeah, hopefully we'll get back on the road after the initial terrible test drive. So as you can see, a little bit knackered. I'm hoping it's just going to be replacing the unit, get a couple of bolts because I'm not sure those two are going to come out cleanly, and then we'll be back on the road. The arm's not damaged, the brakes aren't damaged, tyre's fine, steering still works. Just need to free that arm off because it's sat quite high up in the body. I suspect it's not naturally meant to be that high, so it's probably jammed against the body. So free all that off, a couple of bolts, hopefully back on the road pretty quick. If you've enjoyed this calamitous breakdown, then please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back soon with more content. Thanks.